Hey, welcome to another episode of Entertainment Flash. I'm your host, Ron. It's so good to be here. And just where am I? I'll tell you. I love being at this spot. This location is just a fun place to be. And we are at the Green on Main in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Live, as we always are live, and we're having a good time. We're having a good time. We're getting ready. We got a big show, big things happening. So you got to stick around for this whole show. So we got some movie updates, some TV info, some new music news. We have the playlist, all coming to you, and whatever comes to my mind at the time. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot that comes to my mind. Um, so you want to stick around for all of this and more. So get involved, and yeah, let's do this. So first of all, I want to say that today's show is sponsored by Candy for Pennies. Yes, we are sponsored by Candy for Pennies. And first of all, they have two locations, and they have a location in Providence at 280 Elmwood Avenue, and of course, here in Pawtucket at 230 Main Street. You can get great candy. So at Candy for Pennies, you can get old school and new school candy. So whether it's caramel chews or Pop Rocks, Warheads, or just a plain old Snickers bar, you can come down to Candy for Pennies, where you can also get personalized gift baskets for all occasions. You can visit Candy for Pennies at Candy for Pennies, that's the number four, Candy, the number four, pennies, dot business, dot site. Check it out. Look, they even have Grubhub. Okay, so you need your candy and your home and you can't get to here, well, we can get to you. So Candy for Pennies. So that's the sponsor. If you want to sponsor the show, please by all means email us at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. You can send you out all the information, and I'll tell you, it's going all over the world. So if you do business online, then you can be successful doing this. So please, by all means, get on that. It's not that expensive. Um, so do that. Let's go into the first topic, and that is none other than movies. I'll tell you, movie news. There's never a shortage of movie updates. So let's get into this. The first thing up, we have Bad Boys. Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What you gonna do? So Bad Boys 4, got some info on this. They had a scene that appears to be on top of a hospital roof, and Marcus is in his hospital gown, and we don't know if when Will Smith approaches Marcus on the rooftop, what's going through the mind of Marcus. We don't know, really any of the details of this scene. Like there's speculation that Marcus, may want to jump or whatever. He's contemplating life. Um, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's more of the case of I think this is going to be at the beginning of the movie, and I think that it is, you know, uh, Mike Lowry is asking Marcus to come back and do this one more time, and I believe this is going to take place at the end of the Bad Boys for Life movie. So it's there in a short period of time, and he's injured, and blah blah blah. That's what I feel is going to happen, and but there's speculation that it could happen later in the movie that he's in the hospital because of all the things that the new villain has done. who the new villain is played by Eric Dane from Grey's Anatomy. So that's another wrinkle. So returning in this movie is Paula Nunez, who will play Captain Rita Sakata again. Vanessa Hudgens also returns to play Kelly, and and Alexander Ludwig, he is playing Dorn once again. So the cast is coming back, for the most part. Um, so Bad Boys 4 is under production now. So now I don't know if the writer's strike is going to affect this movie. I'm guessing that the writing is already done, and if they need adjustments, it's going to be done by the director or the producer. So I'm guessing that this movie will not be affected by the writer's strike. So let us know your thoughts on that. I mean, if you're watching the show live, which you should be, um, jump in because you can be part of the show. And if you were here live, you'd be able to be part of the show in the audience, and you can get your comments actually heard as opposed to just typing it up there and being part of it that way. So do that. Don't be afraid, of course, to donate stars and bits. You get shout outs that way. That is, especially if you're on Twitch. I mean, I would think that you want a shout out, and then people can go and watch your Twitch. So do that, and also we're trying to get the Twitch sub goals. So we got one up there. We would love to get to 10, you know, by the end of this month. So don't be afraid to do that. If you subscribe to us on Twitch, we will actually mention you on every show that we do live for for an entire week. So it would be today, all the live shows this week that Rhode Island Broadcasting does, and then also when we return Monday for this show. So please throw us a subscription. Movie news again. The movie update that we have for you now is Ghostbusters Afterlife 2. Yes. So not returning is Sigourney Weaver. Oh, that is already a fact. So she is not coming back. But returning returning is Carrie Coon, who plays Egan's daughter, Callie. Also, McKenna Grace, who was fantastic in Afterlife. She returns as Phoebe, and Finn Wolford returns as Trevor. So the cast will be going to New York for this. So I cannot wait for this one. That Afterlife was fantastic. And I think the return to New York for the story is going to be wonderful. Also returning is Logan Kim, Paul Rudd, and Celeste O'Connor. And of course, as Winston is Ernie Hudson. He is returning, and that is why they're going back to New York. I think they're going to take up the same place as before in the original. William Atherton also returns as Walter Peck, the EPA inspector. And we do not know for sure if Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray will be returning. I don't know if the franchise wants to keep relying on those guys to have to sell the movie. Uh, I don't feel they need to. I mean, I'm not going to complain if they're in the movie. Believe me. I mean, it's Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. So I think maybe in some part they might have a little bit part. Maybe it's whether a phone call or whatever it is, and giving the reins to the new crew or whatever it may be. Um, I think they're going to have a part of what happens, with the show. With the movie, not the show, the movie. So I think they will always be part of it. You know, as long as they're with us, and I think the fans are okay with that. You know, I mean, it's the original. They created this hype, and so so we'll see what happens with that. But the cast is coming back, and I don't doubt it's going to be fantastic. I think McKenna Grace was just absolutely fantastic in that movie. If you haven't seen it, you really should. You gotta check it out because it might be top two in that franchise. I'm not sure if it's not better than the original. I mean, it was that good. It was that good. So that is Ghostbusters Afterlife. And if you saw the name of the show, season 3, episode 7, Afterlife, there you go. We always put the title as part of what the segment is, and that was Ghostbusters Afterlife. So, so you are watching us on YouTube at RI Broadcasting. So get on there, follow us on YouTube. We have over 1,100 followers on YouTube. We're trying to get to 2,000. So please get on there, subscribe, do that. You are also watching us on Twitch at RI_broadcasting. So subscribe, follow, do all those things. We have 1 subscriber. We're trying to get to 10. So please click that button, subscribe to us, help us out so all these shows keep going for years and years. And we have 316 followers right now. So trying to get to 500 by the end of the year. That would be great. Follow us on Twitter as well. You can watch us there as well when we go live, at Broadcasting RI. So please get on there. 342. We are trying to get to 400 by the end of the year. So do that. Get on there. And of course, we're on Facebook as well. So on Facebook, we got over 10,000 followers. So get on Facebook at Rhode Island Broadcasting. You can watch all the different shows. So, besides Entertainment Flash, we also have Music Causation. We have Sports Unfolded, one of the best, if not the best, sports show out there. Yes, I believe it is. Mostly because I'm on it, but Eric's okay. He's okay. But please get on there. We have jam sessions, so you have music and movies, paranormal. Ghost Sisters and Spats are pretty awesome to watch. So get on there and check it out. So follow us there. So we covered the movies, and now it's time for TV, as we always do. Well, TV news. This was interesting. I loved it. I loved hearing it because I think it's a great show. I loved it because you love Chef Ramsay because he's always, he's real with people. He'll tell them exactly what he thinks, and I think it's hilarious when he insults them. To be honest with you, I think it's funny as hell. But yeah, so Kitchen Nightmares is returning to Fox. The show ended after 7 seasons and 90 plus episodes. I think it was more along the lines that Chef Ramsay wanted to take a break, but it is coming back this fall. And, I'm thinking fall, but it could be mid-season. But the return is inevitable. Chef Ramsay is just so popular, and he does really well on the ratings. You gotta love, his expressions, and I just love it. I think it's great. So Kitchen Nightmares returns to Fox at some point. So other fall or mid-season um, shows coming. I got a whole list of them. There's plenty of them. Believe me, there's going to be a lot of them, especially when you got networks like NBC that had complete crap, last season. Okay, let's be honest. A lot of their shows failed miserably, and most of them were terrible. Okay, you got a few that weren't. Like I love Chicago Fire. Law and Order SVU is fantastic as well. I haven't watched it in the last few years, but I'm sure it's still pretty good. Um, but this year, there's a lot of new shows coming into the fold. Um, NBC has a lot of them. Okay, so Deal or No Deal Island. Yes, Deal or No Deal Island. I don't know whose bright idea this was at NBC, but apparently Deal or No Deal is coming back, but they don't have a host yet. So don't get too excited. It probably isn't going to be Howie. Okay. Um, but they're going to be shipped off to an island, which is just ridiculous. It's stupid. And they're going to have, the game show there on an island. And I don't know. Maybe they'll make them, eat worms and stuff like that. I don't know. But it just sounds ridiculous. It's going to be the same game, most likely, with some twists and turns and whatever it may be. I don't see the point of going to an island for this, but NBC feels like it's a great idea, and most likely it's going to fail unless Howie is the host. Um, I don't see it working. I think NBC is just grasping for straws at this point. Um, They have the Americas coming. This might be interesting. It's due out at mid-season. I guess it's going to be pretty much kind of like an educational kind of thing. It's going to be narrated by Tom Hanks, and it's going to have a 10-part series, so 10 episodes of the Americas and how it has developed through time, I guess, and so there's going to be a lot of history lessons on this, and it might be interesting. And Tom Hanks is going to be part of it, so I think it might be pretty decent to see. Um, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. You know, I think that has some merit. But again, it's only a 10-part series, so don't think it's going to be like an every year thing. Also on NBC, they have Extended Family. That is a comedy. This has some traction. It stars John Cryer from Two and a Half Men, Abigail Spencer, and of course Donald Faison. Um, I mean, it could be pretty good, but John Cryer, if he's going to be playing the same character as Two and a Half Men, which it's not the same character, but when you look at the dynamics of the show, it's going to be him and his ex-wife is going to be sharing a house, and they will take turns taking care of the kids at the house. So one will move out somewhere while the other spouse watches the kids, and then they swap. And then Donald Faison plays somebody in the sports world, a sports ownership, and he becomes the new boyfriend of the ex-wife. And of course, it's going to have a lot of things that are going to be similar with Two and a Half Men. So yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Could be, but I'm not saying it's not going to be. I think it's going to be pretty good. But yeah, yeah. Okay. So what else? What else do I see? NBC Irrational. It stars Jesse L. Martin from The Flash. He was the detective on The Flash. Um, Great actor. I like him. He's basically going to be a guy that solves crimes for whether it's countries, governments, or whatever, uh, CIA, FBI, whatever it's going to be. He's going to solve crimes because he's good at it. Crime show. They all are. So those are some of the ones I point out from NBC. CBS has a couple of comedies that are supposedly going to be out on Tuesday nights. So CW has Children Ruin Everything. It's a comedy from Canada up north. Thank you, Canada. This looks like it could have some potential. Whether it survives or not, I don't know. But, children ruin everything. Children ruin everything. Do they? Do they, though? Or is it the adults that ruin everything? Do you know how I feel about that? All right. Also, in that same comedy block that they're going to have, Everyone Else Burns. It's a British comedy. Basically, it's a family that thinks that the world will end within the decade. So it is not meant to last past 7 years, I guess. I mean, within the decade, it's going to end. So I gather that this family is preparing for the end of the world, and a lot of strange things, I guess, are going to happen. So we'll see. So British comedy. If you like British comedies, that's one that you got to look for. Also on CBS, there's Elsbeth. It's a spin-off from The Good Wife. This I am going to run away from very far, far, far. Um, I think it's just ridiculous. She's going to be very quirky. So I guess maybe kind of like Monk, the female version of Monk. She's going to take her quirkiness and solve crimes now instead of being a lawyer. Yeah, because that's normal. That happens. So, I don't know. At CBS, they seem to have everything working for them. So maybe it'll work. Maybe. Let us know what you think about that one. And of course, what would it be without another show just changing from a male character to a female character in Matlock? I mean, this is a yearly thing now. I mean, why do they have to remake them? Just make a new character as a female lead. How about that? Instead of just changing characters, because it doesn't make sense to me. Just give them a character that they can develop. Yes, Kenny. Yeah, Monk was great. Now they're going to try the female version of that, and I find her very annoying. Just put these people in new roles and change names and give them their own identity. I don't understand why they do this. And with Matlock, it was Andy Griffith back in the in his latter years, and so now they're going to change it, and they're going to put Kathy Bates in this role, and instead of just saying, okay, Kathy Bates is going to star in a new show, and it's going to be such and such. No, they have to give it the name. They're just trying to get a quick buck from people because of the name Matlock. Okay? No, that's not the way to do it. Stop. Hollywood needs to stop trying to pull the wool over people's eyes and just give us a new character. We know it's going to be the same stuff that you always put out, but just give us a new character. We don't want to rehash all these things. We don't want to rehash it, because what's coming. The Brady Bunch is coming back, and it's going to be different people, and they're going to call it something else, and we know what it is. Just stop. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like The Equalizer. Do we really believe that Queen Latifah is jumping out of a second-floor story building and chasing down a criminal that had a head start, like a block away, and then catches up with him? Do we really believe that? No, we don't. Sorry to seeing it. Just do something different. So, yes, Kathy Bates, Jason Ritter are going to star in the new Matlock, female-led Matlock. and Kathy Bates is a great actor, as is Jason Ritter. I'm probably going to check that out because I like both of them, despite them just changing the character to something else. But I will check it out. Mm, Great acting makes a great show, right? So CBS also has Papa's House now, and I know Kenny, you're watching out there, and I know you're going to like this one, Papa's House, because it has Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr., two hilarious people. Okay, this is going to be really good. So Damon Wayans will play a DJ that gets a new co-host, a female co-host, who is Essence Atkins. Um, and meanwhile, at home, he is still taking care of his adult son, Damon Wayans Jr. So this has potential to be a hilarious show. So I hope it gets some traction, um, because I mean, when you get funny people, it can be hopefully the show lasts long enough. So we got to make sure you check it out. Make sure you check it out because you want some of these. You want a good show. So hopefully this will be good, and I don't have any doubt because Damon Wayans, he's funny. So check that out. Um, and last but not least, I'm really curious about this one because Snake Oil is going to be a new game show. Now, if you've ever played the game, it's basically like you're a salesman and you got to try to sell a fake product to the other players in the game, right? So you take that concept and then you add David Spade as the host, and I think you got for some funny moments on a game show. I mean, yes, it is a game show, so if you don't like game shows, I don't know what to tell you. But David Spade is pretty funny, and I think the concept is pretty funny. And when you go and you add David Spade to that concept, I think you got a hit on your hands. But like all game shows at night, they don't last because people get tired of them. So hopefully this stays fresh and new, and so those are the updates that I have for you. I'm glad Kenny was because there he loves Monk, and you know it's going to be an interesting fall for TV, especially if the writers are continuing to strike. We don't know what's going to happen. I guess we're going to find out those what reality shows are real if they don't come in time for the fall season. Then you got to speculate, well, maybe it isn't so real. So reality shows, we're going to be looking at that one real close because, I mean, if it's reality, you shouldn't need writers, correct? Um, so that is what's up TV. Um, again, again, we are live at the Green on Main in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, at 230 Main Street. At the Green on Main. Okay, let's put this. Of course, Candies for Pennies is our sponsor for the show, and so we have Candies for Pennies here, and there's also gift baskets. There are T-shirts. There are handbags, hair braiding, backpacks, like with like little Sonic characters and stuff like that. All kinds of characters. Um, there is a bouncy house in this place. There are food and beverages, an old school arcade, and of course they have many events throughout the week and throughout the month and throughout the summer. So you got to come and check it out. 230 Main Street, the park. They have these chairs here that you just sit in and literally you can fall asleep almost instantly. It's incredible. It's so relaxing, and it's an indoor park. As you see the grass behind me, the grass wall. Feel like I'm at Wrigley Field in Chicago. So I mean, just come down and check it out. And if you're here next Monday at noontime, I will be here live again, and you can come join us at the show. And that would be pretty awesome if you came down and you can participate. We'll set up a camera, we'll set up a microphone, so that way when you have a comment, you can make a comment. Um, so yeah, so Green on Main, yeah. Okay, so let's go. Let's don't forget Twitch subs. So if you're on Twitch, please by all means throw us a sub. Um, Are you there? Yes, Kenny, I am here every Monday. So the plan is 3 Mondays I am here doing Entertainment Flash, and one Monday will be Music Causation at 12, and then I will do my show after Music Causation is done. So with Music Causation, we have music artists that'll come on and perform as well. So once a month, Music Causation will be here at 12, and then I will be on at 1 o'clock for Entertainment Flash. But every Monday, I am here from 12 o'clock on, and so I will be here next Monday at 12 doing Entertainment Flash, and we're going to bring you more news and updates and a lot of stuff. Now, Kenny, and I know you're on, and I've been actually wanting to talk about this because I am so PO'd right now about the Celtics. And I know that you watched that game, and I commend you for sitting through that. Um, so, I mean, we have been talking about TV, and what better to watch than NBA playoffs, and it is just disgusting how bad the Celtics are in this series. I mean, they are bad. They just giving it up right now. They're not even giving an effort. And I don't know. It's going to be a long off season if they go and get swept. And by all means, it looks like they're going to get swept because I don't even think they're trying at this point. They're getting spanked by Miami Heat. And I think the Boston Celtics are going to go through a lot of changes. I can't wait. I cannot wait till Friday with Sports Unfolded, Kenny. If you guys are doing an NBA show, I would really like to sit in on that. So it's just awful. It's awful. Like they are not even trying. At least the Lakers haven't given up. They're actually giving an effort. Playing against Denver. That's a tall task for the LA Lakers to play against Denver. I mean, the Celtics are not playing a Denver quality team. Like, let's be honest. It's just awful. It is one-sided, and I just don't think Tatum and Brown are good enough to put the effort in to bring it back. Yeah, I don't think they have it in them. And yeah, yeah. I don't know, Kenny. Let us know what you think about them. Um, other than those Boston Celtics, it's been a great playoff run in the NBA. Lots of great basketball, and so hopefully that continues. I just don't like. My fear is the Heat go on, and then they just get swept by Denver, and then it's like really the NBA playoffs just kind of ends on a flat note because that's basically what I'm seeing right now. You get the Lakers that they're getting squashed, the Celtics are getting squashed, so it hasn't been a compelling series in either. And then if you have Denver that and they just walk all over Miami, then it's not so good of a playoffs. That started so great. So hopefully, the Lakers and the Celtics can make a run and make it interesting at least. Um, so let's go to music. Now that I went on my little rant about the Celtics because it's disgusting, and Boston fans everywhere are just like reeling after what happened to the Bruins, and now this, and then we have to sit here, and watch the Red Sox be in last place. and then we have the Patriots to look forward to, who will probably finish in last place as well. So, I mean, it used to be good being a Boston fan, but I think reality has set in, and we need some change, and we need some change in a hurry, um, because we are greedy and we want championships. Sorry. That's just what we want. That's what a Boston fan wants. It's got to be worth it, right? It's got to be worth it. And fans demand more of these teams. Sorry, world. So let's go. Music world is it's time for all this music stuff. We have music news, and of course, it also ties into to TV as well. Tangi won the 21st edition of American Idol, the Hawaiian. His performance was fantastic. I got to listen to the performances, and he was absolutely amazing. But what won it for this kid was the performance with James Blunt on Monsters, I believe the song name was, where at the beginning he was in tears, because it reminds him of his father as the song goes on. It was a fantastic performance, all around, and he won American Idol. So it'll be interesting to see, where that comes. Um, so yeah, I guess he'll have a new album coming out soon. Probably, I don't know, maybe later on this year rather. That song will probably get released with him and James Blunt because it was so powerful. So I'm sure they're going to do a whole song on that, a full version. So Tangi, the winner of American Idol 2023. So that is music news. So new music. It's time for new music. I got to see a lot of the stuff that's coming out, and I'll tell you, I'm liking the new albums out. This week. Um, First of all, the Lemonheads. Come on, feel the Lemonheads. That is the new album by them. I got to listen to a couple of songs off that album, which you'll see in the playlist. Brandy Clark has a new album called Brandy Clark. That's creative. Kesha with her new album Gag Order, and Foo Fighters. But here we are, and I believe they have a new drummer that they unveiled for their tour. Um, and Dave Matthews Band, Walk Around the Moon. I got to listen to just about every song. I believe I did listen to every song, actually, off that album. So I'll let you know what I feel about those coming up, because I listened to most of it. I mean, at least a song or two from each. And those will be in the playlist. The playlist. So, all right. So those are the new releases, and that brings us to the playlist. This is the segment where I basically tell you what you should add to your playlist when you're, using Spotify or Apple or whatever you're using for your music, Amazon, or just downloading songs and just on your phone or tablet or laptop. But legally, of course, right? Legally, because we don't want to rob, the music artists of what's due to them. So the playlist, the first one that I did, I got to listen to a couple of songs from the Lemonheads, The Great Big No. No, no, it's not a no. It is a yes. You should add it to your playlist. You should. It's a pretty good song. Pretty good. Um, Even better was "Into Your Arms" by the Lemonheads. That was the second song I got to listen from them, and that was even better. Did not listen to the whole album. I only got to listen to those two songs, and I like them both, and they are both added to my playlist. Foo Fighters. I got to listen to "Rescued," and if you know the Foo Fighters, it is what you get from the Foo Fighters. That's a good song. It sounds just like their hit songs, and so I liked Rescued. Dave Matthews Band. Um, Dave Matthews Band was an interesting album because I got to listen to all of it. And I'm listening, to song after song, and I'm listening like, this it's good. I don't know, but there's something missing. There's something missing. It didn't just kind of like go out there and grab you and say, "Hey, this is a great song." It's not like when you Crash, you know, so much to say, like those songs just grabbed you in and pulled you into the song, and you loved the song, right? I wasn't getting that feeling. Song 1, song 2, song 3, all the way down to song 8, and then song 9 comes. The track number 9, um, the only thing, that's the one that pulled me in and said yes. Like all the songs were good, were not great, but they were good. But this song did the crash and all that stuff. So much to say, and this one pulled me in, and I really liked it. The only thing by Dave Matthews Band, track number 9. That's the one that you need to listen to. That's the one that you need to add to your playlist. And the ones after that were all good after that. So it was one of those albums where you're listening, and then as the tracks go on, you start liking it more and more and more. And that track 9 was knocked it out of the ballpark. So the only thing needs to be added to your playlist, Dave Matthews Band. That being said, Dear Insecurity by Brandy Clark. Yes, I did listen to Brandy Clark. And Dear Insecurity was a fantastic song. Lots of great words. The lyrics were fantastic. It's a good ballad for a country song. And Chakra, thank you for being here. Yeah, you like the Street Fighter. If you saw last week's show, I mentioned Street Fighter as one of the most anticipated games on my Ron's top 5 list. I believe I had it number 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think I had it number 1. So Street Fighter was awesome. Yes, it was. I had Counter Strike number 2, Street Fighter 6 number 1. So watch last week's episode of Entertainment Flash, and you'll see. So Kenny, yes, definitely check out track number 9. But Brandy Clark's ballad was fantastic. The lyrics were awesome. The song was very mellow, and it just had a great sound to it. And then I listened to Kesha. I listened to 2 songs from Kesha. First of all, I was only going to listen to 1 song by Kesha, and I played Something to Believe In, and it was very repetitive. It was very annoying. I almost feel bad because I don't want to really pick on her, but it was kind of annoying, and it sounded like she whined through the song. And I was like thinking, okay, Something to Believe In, right? Yeah, this should be pretty good, right? Oh boy. And after I listened to it, oh my God, I was just so annoyed. And I'm like, oh my God, I gotta play another song because I can't let it sit on that. I can't let it sit on on being annoyed by Kesha, right? Because she has some good music. So I said, all right, I'm going to listen to a second song. And then I said, all right, I'm looking at the titles and I'm like, okay, Living in My Head. That could be pretty good, right? It was more of Kesha whining in her songs. The song, oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad. It got worse. It actually, Living in My Head actually gave me a headache because of the whining. Like it was just awful. It was awful. I'm sorry. And then I was like, okay, I'm giving up. Um, yes, it was just so bad, Kenny. Kenny, like I'm like, oh, maybe there, it'll be like some pretty good music, and like, everything was repetitive and repetitive and repetitive. It's like wee 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 wee. I couldn't take it. It gave me a headache. Definitely not putting Kesha, Something to Believe in, or Living in My Head, um, on my playlist. They are not going on there, and I'm afraid that that is going to live in my head for the next week because it was excruciating. So stay away from that Kesha album. Um, I'm really sorry. I actually listened to those two songs because I just lost, a good solid 8 minutes of my life listening to those. Um, so stay away from them. Yeah, yeah. So Chakra Street Fighter 2 Turbo was one of the first games I ever played. Yes, I remember. Look, I remember playing Street Fighter in the arcade, the first one. Um, yeah, it's. I've played almost all of them at this point. I love the games, and Street Fighter 6. We got to play it yesterday. And I played in a tournament yesterday. I went 1-2. I'm not very good, unfortunately, but I did get a win. And so yeah, I love the game. I think it's good, and I cannot wait for the release date so we can play more and all the characters, and so be it. Um, Fantastic game, Street Fighter. Again, if you did not watch last week's episode, um, for Entertainment Flash, I suggest you do that. We talk about all the new games that came out in my top six. I mean, top five. Ron's top five. Um, I didn't do a top five this week. I just realized that. Um, so check that out, and we got a lot of new games coming. So hopefully there's some good ones out there for you. Um, so that was the playlist. That was music. So we're almost done, ready to wrap up. Now, if 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 you want some great gaming, you got to check out Chakra_Power on Twitch. Chakra is a regular here on Rhode Island Broadcasting. He watches this show. He watches Musicalization. I know he watches the Sports Unfolded a lot. So thank you, Chakra, for being there. So that is CHAKRA_power. He plays some video games. I know he played some World of Tanks the other day. That was pretty awesome. I could not believe that was the first time I have ever seen World of Tanks, being played. And to me, it looked like everybody's in the Halo Warthogs, and it was pretty fun. It was fun to watch. I got to watch him for probably at least an hour or so, and it was fun. So check out Chakra_Power. I know he's played some Street Fighter, and I know he's played some World of Tanks and a whole bunch of other games. So check that out. And Kenny of course is one of the members of Sports Unfolded, and he's the NBA guru for Eric, and Kenny is awesome. So you'll go watch Sports Unfolded, especially that the NBA show that they do pretty much every week, and he'll give you his insight. And I'll tell you, he knows his basketball. He knows his basketball, and except that he rode too much onto the Celtics. Sorry, Kenny, I didn't have faith in them. I figured once Milwaukee was out, then maybe they'd have a shot, but they're blowing their chance. This is their chance, and they're blowing it. So check out both of them on their respected shows and channels. So, okay, so before we go, first of all, please um, get on all of our social media. First of all, donate those Twitch bits and Facebook stars. Facebook, we haven't gotten any stars yet. So come on, Facebook people, let's get some stars. We need to get these shows to get some cash to keep these shows going and bringing you all of this great content. Rhode Island Broadcasting brings so many different shows. We currently have 31 different shows on the channel right now. And it is hard to keep them going, let me tell you. So get on that. Also, become a sub on Twitch, trying to get to 10. That would be awesome. So all of you on Twitch, please jump in and do that for us. So you're watching us on Facebook at Rhode Island Broadcasting. So subscribe, comment, like, share. We have 10,000 followers on Facebook. Please get in there, share this, let these shows blow up and go viral. That's what I would love to see. I'd love to see a video, one of our shows go viral. Why not this one, right? Also, if you're on Twitch, you're on RI_broadcasting, just like Chakra_power is doing right now. Subscribe, follow, send us bits and whatever you can. You can also see us on Twitter at Broadcasting RI. So please, the Twitter goal is 400. We're at 342 right now. So follow us, please. Do all that, and of course, YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting, and 1,115 current followers. So get on that. We're trying to get to 2,000 by the end of the year, and please do all that. And by all means, please share this show. You're watching it, share it. Maybe one of your friends will watch it and tell them to share, and let these shows go viral. Coming up this week and a little beyond, we have, of course, a new wrestling show, Falls Count Anywhere, coming up. So check out that when it comes out. It should be Wednesdays. Mindset Talks, great. Cassie and Amanda are fantastic. I love the show. Thank you so much for letting Rhode Island Broadcasting air that. Haunting Live, of course. Trevor, awesome. Skeptic Metaphysician also will have a new show this coming week. Will and Karen leading that way. I'll tell you, that's an interesting show. You got to check that out. Like, if you like all this, the stars and past lives and, and all these spiritual things, that's a show that you need to check out as well. If you like paranormal, we got new episodes of Ghost Sisters and Spats coming up. And Music Causation will be coming back soon, in a couple of weeks. Sports Unfolded, of course, new every Friday. And, of course, I know Chakra watches Haven Shine Gaming. So we do a lot of tournaments and stuff, and we show some Street Fighter, we show some Melee, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so tune in. Tune in. That's pretty much going to wrap it up here at the Green on Main. Um, so just come back out every Monday. Monday, Green on Main, 230 Main Street, Monday at noontime. Come out, join us. We will be here. We will be here. So join us. See you next week on Entertainment Flash.